Hello again, everyday carry fans. So I've actually had this knife for several years in my airsoft box, and I've used it to trim off like some fabric and stuff like that, and cut zip ties and stuff. But it was all used; it's all scratched up. So I want to give this a fair review. So I ordered a new one, and if it's $1.50, it's not too much out of my pocket, you know. So I think you can afford this if you think it's a good knife. It's a really obviously a simple construction, and it has to be $1.50, right? This unfortunately is a waste of money. These sort of things just they're not good. Actually, before I throw it out, I should probably weigh this thing. And the battery's dead. I'll be back. All right. This thing is 22 grams or so. It's actually pretty heavy for its size because the blade is quite thick, and maybe that's why I like it. So guessing at the construction, I think this is a steel thing. It's got a Torx head screw, and I think that's a brass washer. Same on that side. And you can see this is a steel sheet metal body, and the blade lock is part of it. So, all right. But anyways, I don't like these things. They're just not very strong. So you're going to need a fingernail to get in there to open this thing. And then you see that blade lock does snap there, and it's basically, you would have to break that or bend that steel for that blade to collapse. And the thing is so short that even if, well, I guess you could still cut your finger, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's not as bad as a long blade. That effective blade length is probably around 16 millimeters, maybe half an inch or something like that. So for cutting boxes, I think it should be fine. The actual thickness of this blade might be important to you, because the thicker it is, the harder it is to actually cut through cardboard. But it's obviously very strong. Yeah, so it's around 2.3 millimeters thick. Overall length when it's open seems to be about 56 millimeters, and thickness maybe 11, 12 millimeters. This height, around 20 millimeters. Okay, well anyways, let's see here. You know, let's first do some standard cut tests. I guess I'm developing a routine for these. So this is just some copy paper. It's actually kind of thick though. Well, it's not the sharpest blade, that's for sure. Well, it's alright, I guess, but it is tearing the paper a lot. See this? See how that edge is all torn? Again, you have to remember this thing was $1.50 delivered. Granted, depending on the country you live in, that price might change. I live pretty close to China, so still, that's really cheap. Even if this was $3, this is a pretty high quality knife. There's like not too much flex and play in there, because this pivot might be pretty thick. Just looking through that gap. Of course, I can't do it now. See, I don't know if that's a part of this bolt here, but it's not a flimsy like 4 millimeter screw. It actually looks pretty wide. Maybe that's a better way to look at it. Yeah, see, I don't know if there's brass in there. Let me take a look. You know what? There could be plastic washers. Maybe they almost look clear, or maybe they're aluminum. Hard to say. All right. Well, to close it up, you got to flick this out, and then clear that frame lock there. And you heard it click, so there might be. Well, I'm not sure what made it click. There's a bent piece of steel here. It actually takes a considerable amount of force to open this one. My other one doesn't have this issue. Hold on a second. Yeah, opening this one is really difficult. Maybe it might take a few times maybe to wear out some sort of track or something to overcome that friction. Maybe that's the issue. So here's my old one, because I never had an issue opening this one. This one's quite easy to open. Also, you'll see these washers are very shiny on this old one, whereas these look almost like sanded in that direction. So it could be some running changes at the factory, but the actual nut seems to be the same size. I don't know what size Torx that is. It's also not very deep, that Torx, so I'd actually be afraid to try to undo that. I think you'll strip it out. Okay, so that's what they look like, new and used. So yeah, this one's never an issue. It just works. I'm going to put it back in my airsoft bag. It's very small. Alright, let's continue on with the sharpness testing of this, because that's all that really matters with the knife usually, right? Alright, so paper, this thicker copy paper or print paper, and not the sharpest. Bamboo chopstick. Well, you can definitely whittle away. It's such a thick blade, and holding it doesn't seem too bad. But my theme these days is cutting boxes. So, well, I don't know. Going through the tape here. I guess it works. It's just not the sharpest blade. I'm not cutting cardboard because it's so thick. It's going to be difficult because it has to displace all that cardboard. But you'll notice it doesn't come out of the cardboard because it's a straight blade. I've reviewed some other ones that have the curved blades, and those want to come out of the cut. But these straight edges, I'm a big fan of. I think I like the straight edge knives more than curved knives. Definitely, that's for sure. Okay, well, take away what you will. Well, you know what? This has been used several times to cut things, so let's see how if this is still sharp. No, not at all. No, not at all. So that's the issue. So you'll have to take some, time to sharpen that thing. But if you mess up, I guess, the thing is inexpensive. So, anyways, now I have two, and I'll just leave one in the car, perhaps. Just who knows why? Or maybe I'll give it to someone. Okay, well, hopefully this will help you decide if you want to get it or not. You're not gonna have, don't expect the world out of something that costs less than $2. But for me, it's done its purpose. I don't have to worry about losing it, and it's done its job for cutting zip ties and stuff. Alright, thanks for watching. See ya.